In the MPFL as well, matches will definitely be played well this summer anymore. Of course, news will be definitely dropping out like it's hot for you this beautiful morning. Once again, welcome on board. It's Spotted Beat on Oluyole 98.5 FM. We're also live on Oluyole FM 96.3 and Oluyole FM 92.1. Well, let's hit the ground running this beautiful morning by starting from the MPFL. The scheduled games played yesterday. 2 games were played yesterday in Nigeria. Yes, holders Remo Stars fell to a 2-0 loss against Abia Warriors in the Nigerian Premier Football League rescheduled match. It was a match day 6 rescheduled game played in Umaya yesterday. Emeka Obioma gave Abia Warriors the lead 1 minute before the half-hour mark. Obioma pounced on a loose ball and finished with precision. The visitors were awarded a penalty in the 59th minute of the game after Suraju Lawal was fouled inside the box. Sunday Migwa slotted home from the spot to seal the win for Imama Anambakabo's side. Abia Warriors moved to 4th position on the table with 9 points from 5 league matches. Remo Stars dropped to 14th position following yesterday's defeat. In Ilorin yesterday, Kwara United defeated Plateau United 2-1 in the rescheduled match day 5 encounter. The host went in front through Junior Imufwa late in the first half of the game. Temitope Vincent equalized for Plateau United with a spectacular strike 2 minutes before the hour mark. Arinze Ogbonna netted the winning goal for Kwara United 7 minutes from time. Kwara United moved from 16th to 17th. To 7th rather on the log, while Plateau United dropped to 16th spot. That's a quick look at matches played yesterday. Rescheduled games played yesterday in the Nigeria Premier Football League, and of course we're looking forward to matches that will be played this weekend. Tomorrow on the show, I'll definitely share with you all of those fixtures. Alright, let's cross to the Nigerian National League, and that's the 2nd tier league in Nigeria. The NNL has announced registration timeline and requirement for clubs aiming to participate in the 2025-2026 NNL season. The registration portal, according to the NNL, will open on the 6th of October, that's on Monday, and close on the 24th of October, that's a Friday. The requirements for registrations are transfer matching system certificates, that's TMS certificate, valid medical certificate, and insurance certificate for registered players and officials. The league body warned that any clubs that failed to meet the deadline risk missing out on the upcoming season. The NNL Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Danlami Alanana, emphasized the importance of adhering strictly to the deadline, stressing that the league intends to follow its calendar without interruption. The new season is built to kick off on Saturday, the 8th day in the month of November 2025. And don't forget, Crives Ogbomoso will definitely be taking part in that one. From league football in the country, let's cross over to the continent of Africa this beautiful morning, and of course moving beyond the continent of Africa, but this has to do with our national team. Yes, the Flying Eagles, Nigeria under 20 national team. They were in action in the early hours of this morning, and it was indeed a victorious outing for our boys earlier today. As they went head-to-head against their Saudi counterparts, of course, at the ongoing World Cup, 24th edition of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. It was indeed a tense affair between the Flying Eagles of Nigeria and the Saudi Arabian counterparts, of course, in the early hours of today. And of course, our boys did the job. They got it done. 3-2. Our boys won that interesting encounter in the early hours of today. And of course, what a way to bounce back! What a way to bounce back from the loss they suffered in their opening match. And we must say congratulations to him. Don't forget that the team played Norway in their opening match of the competition, then lost. They lost that 1-0 to Norway. Of course, this time around against against Saudi Arabia. The boys did just the needful. All right. Let's take the story where Nigeria defeated Saudi Arabia 3-2 in an eventful Group F encounter played in the early hours of today to earn 3 points and brighten their chances of reaching the round of 16 at the ongoing 24th edition of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup holding in Chile. Midfielder Nasiru Salihu scored Nigeria's first goal of the tournament by converting in the 10th minute of the game, but the Asians were back on level terms in the 21st minute of the game through Amara Ayuhabi. While undaunted, the 7-time African champions went in front again as Amos Ocheche scored with 7 minutes left in the first half. The first half ended with Nigeria leading 2-1 or 6 minutes into the second half of the game. Saudi Arabia were again back on level terms thanks to Talal Haji. Nigeria has secured a victory with 4 minutes into added time when captain of the side Daniel Bameye converted from the penalty spot. Victory means the team, the 2-time World Cup finalists, the finalists of Nigeria, will reach the round of 16 if they get a result against Colombia on Monday. So we'll say congratulations to our boys. What a win, what a last minute win from our boys right there. While away from that, let's quickly check on Nigerian players abroad. Werder Bremen striker Victor Boniface is doubtful for Saturday's home clash against South Pauli after sustaining an injury during Tuesday's training session. The Super Eagles forward was involved in a challenge with Julian Malatini and was left on the ground holding his right foot, according to reports coming from Germany this morning. After receiving treatment, Boniface was able to continue training but appeared cautious, repeatedly touching his sore foot. His compatriot Felix Agu also suffered an injury in his left shin following a tackle and was forced to observe the rest of the session from a golf cart. Both players are reportedly in stable condition and will be closely monitored in the remaining days of preparation. Later this week, Boniface and Agu will learn whether they have been included in the Super Eagles squad to face for their back-to-back World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Benin Republic. The 24-year-old joined Bremen on loan from Bayer Leverkusen. That's talking about Boniface this summer, and has provided an assist in his brief appearance for the 4-time Bundesliga champions. Boniface has had 3 substitute outings so far this season, creating a goal in Werder Bremen's 4-0 victory over Borussia Mönchengladbach. He came on in the 61st minute against Bayern last weekend, but was unable to make an impact, although he had a goal ruled out for offside. Well, we hope the boys will be fit, honestly, because we need all our players for this one. Victor Osimhen trained away from his Galatasaray teammate yesterday as the Turkish champions intensified preparations for their Super League derby against Besiktas. The Nigerian international striker who scored the decisive penalty in Tuesday's UEFA Champions League win over Liverpool at the Rams Park was substituted in 72nd minute of the game after suffering cramp. Well, according to reports coming from Turkey this morning, the 26-year-old Nigerian striker did not join the rest of the squad yesterday for the morning session, but instead underwent a special workout, raising concerns about his availability for the crunch clash against Besiktas. Well, Galatasaray coach Okan Buruk had earlier moved to ease fears, insisting that Osimhen was not injured but had only suffered fatigue during the Liverpool encounter. Well, it had better be fatigue, honestly, because we definitely need him for the Super Eagles World Cup qualifier. Super Eagles forward, who has quickly become a fan favorite in Istanbul, has scored 40 goals in 46 appearances for the club since his arrival from Napoli. He was named the man of the match against Liverpool after tormenting Ancelotti's defense with his pace and movement before netting his 16th minute penalty. All right, I mentioned earlier the World Cup qualifiers that the Super Eagles will be involved in this month. Let me inform that FIFA already prepared for that one. FIFA has confirmed that Egyptian referee Oman Amin Mohammed will officiate Nigeria's decisive 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Benin in Uyo this October, on the 14th of this month to be precise, according to the appointment letter obtained on Wednesday. Amin Mohammed will be assisted by compatriots Mohamed Ahmed, Kamel Ahmed Abdurragir, and Ali Ahmed Taufik Talib, while another Egyptian, Mustafa El-Bana Mohammed Zakaria Mohammed, will serve as fourth official. The referee assessor for the tie will be Jason Joseph Damo from Seychelles, while Ghana's Prosper Harrison Ado has been named match commissioner for that one. The match, built to kick off at 5 p.m. local time, will take place at the Gotsul Akpabio International Stadium in the beautiful city of Uyo. Nigeria's clash with Benin has taken on added significance after FIFA's recent sanction against South Africa dramatically altered the complexion of Group C. The disciplinary committee ruled that South Africa fielded an ineligible player, that's Teboho Mokwana, in their 2-0 win over Lesotho in March, awarding a 3-0 victory to Lesotho. Now, the decision has reshaped the group standings, throwing the race for qualification wide open. Well, quick break on the show this beautiful morning. All right, we've been asked to continue. All right, moving on this beautiful morning. As it stands, Benin and South Africa are tied on 14 points at the top after 8 matches, while Benin leading on goal difference. Nigeria and Rwanda sits just behind with 11 points apiece, while Lesotho, boosted by the ruling, now have 9 points. Zimbabwe, with only 4 points, are already eliminated from that particular race. We're looking forward to that one, and of course reacting to what happened to the decision of FIFA during the week to dock South Africa the 3 points. Bafana of South Africa head coach Hugo Bruce believes that his side can still qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup despite having 3 points deducted by FIFA. FIFA deducted 3 points and awarded 3 goals to Lesotho after South Africa fielded Teboho Mokwana, who was ineligible in their Group C fixture in March. Well, this means that Bafana relinquish top spot and are now in second place on 14 points. While Benin Republic, who are also on 14 points, now occupy first position. Nigeria's Super Eagles has 11, Rwanda 11 as well, third and fourth respectively. And speaking yesterday, after announcing a squad for this month's qualifiers against Zimbabwe and Rwanda, Hugo Bruce accepted responsibility, although he said Mokwana should have demanded officials, but then he said that it's still possible for his team to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Let's listen to the head coach of the South African national football team, Hugo Bruce, speaking yesterday. Ulubak is still spotted beat on Oluyole 90.5 FM.
People has to stop now also to look for who's responsible for that. We all know that we made a mistake. But first, between the first yellow card of Teboho and the match of Lesotho, there were 16 months. 16 months. And in the meanwhile, during those periods, you played AFCON, you played qualifiers for a new AFCON, and you played World Cup. So, it may not happen, but it's understandable. Who is responsible? And I see already that the minister also wants to investigate who is responsible. Well, it's clear. I'm responsible. I'm the coach. I have to know that this guy had 2 yellow cards. My technical staff is responsible because they didn't tell me, hey, Teboho has 2 yellow cards. The team manager is responsible, but he didn't have the follow-up. The player is responsible because he didn't say us anything. And the administration of SAFA is responsible. So now everybody knows who's responsible. So stop with it. Just focus on the 2 games that are coming now and support us like you did already the ones before. And we will see where we will arrive. But we will do everything for 100% to win those 2 games. And again, for me, it's an extra motivation. and I will try to put that in my players' head also, that in those 2 games they will never saw a team of South Africa that they will see now in those 2 games. We will fight like lions. I know everything that happened in the last 2 weeks, but we are still alive, huh? And people are trying to forget that, I think. I only hear, yes, 3 points less, and now it will be difficult. There is nothing changed. After the game of Nigeria, we were 3 points ahead. We still had to win our 2 last games.
Yeah.
So the situation is not changed, and why suddenly believe that Benin will win their 2 last games, and we not? Why? I don't understand why people start now doubting, and suddenly it's like, well, we can't qualify anymore. For me, honestly, I was also down. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
The 15, when I read the letter, I said, yeah, I will not say what I said, but yeah, I was down also. But yeah, 1 hour later, I said, okay, now we are going to prove that even what they did now with us, even that will not keep us away from America.
There you listen to South Africa coach Hugo Bruce speaking yesterday while unveiling the players that will prosecute their last 2 matches. Well, of course, you listen to him saying that everyone in South Africa is to blame. The player himself, the officials, the SAFA officials also. Everyone is to blame for this one. Of course, he believes that the team can still qualify for the FIFA World Cup if they manage to win their last 2 games, and hope that results from other centers gets to favor them. Well, the same thing we're also saying here in Nigeria anyways. And last time South Africa featured at the FIFA World Cup was when they hosted, and I was back in 2010. Alright, moving on this beautiful morning, FIFA has quietly confirmed the date for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, revealing that the tournament will run from the 17th of March to the 3rd of April in Morocco. The announcement came via a press release issued yesterday following FIFA's council meeting, despite no official communication from CAF. The revelation appeared to catch CAF off guard, as the continental governing body is yet to formally acknowledge or comment on the tournament schedule, a development that has raised eyebrows among stakeholders and fans alike. The 2026 edition will come just 2 years after the delayed 2024 WAFCON, also hosted by Morocco, which concluded in July 2025. Of course, Nigeria's Falcons won that tournament after defeating the host in the finals, while South Africa claimed 3rd. As in previous editions, 12 teams will compete for the continental crown. However, the 2026 tournament carries heightened significance. It will serve as the qualifying event for Africa's 4 places at the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup to be held in Brazil. Morocco, as tournament host, have already secured automatic qualification, leaving 11 sports to be decided through the current qualifying campaign. The final round of qualifiers is built up for this month of October, with several high-stake matchups on the horizon. But among them are defending bronze medalist, that's South Africa, who face Democratic Republic of Congo over 2 legs, hoping to secure their place in Morocco and stake a claim for a return to the world stage. While CAF's delayed response has prompted questions over coordination, anticipation is mounting as the continent's top women's teams prepare for the tournament that will not only crown the champion, but also determine who flags are flagged over there at the World Cup. Alright, a big congratulations to the one you love to call Baby Conte, Nigeria international Deborah Abiodun, who has been named the National Women's Soccer League's Rookie of the Month for September, following her strong performances for Washington Spirit in the United States. The 20-year-old midfielder only made her debut in August, precisely on the 31st of August, in a home match against Chicago, but quickly established herself as a key figure. She earned her first start in a 2-0 win over Seattle, the following week and went on to feature in 3 of Washington's 4 matches in September. During that run, she led the Spirit in tackles and duels won, while also finishing second on the entire league for tackles won. She registered a passing accuracy of 87.3% in the middle third. I mean, that says a lot about her contribution. No wonder she's called Bibi Conte. Congratulations to her. Alright, let's cross over to Europe at this point and take a look at what we saw yesterday across Europe. Interesting matches. Before we talk about interesting matches in Europe, let me quickly inform you that yesterday at the FIFA World Under-20 World Cup, yesterday Argentina defeated Australia 4-1. Brazil lost to Morocco. That game ended 2-1. That was a shocker for many. Colombia and Norway played out a goalless draw, and that's a game very significant because they are in our group. USA trashed France by 3-0. And of course, in the early hours of today, I already told you that Nigeria defeated Saudi Arabia 3-2, and South Africa trashed New Caledonia 5-0. And later today in that competition, Panama will take on South Korea later tonight, and Ukraine will take on Paraguay also later on tonight. 1-0. Celta Vigo 3-1 bet. Porto defeated Krasnodar Veda 2-1. Aston Villa were also 2-0 better than Feyenoord. Ferencváros defeated Genk away from home by a single goal. Lyon 2-0 better than Salzburg. Dynamo Zagreb defeated Maccabi Tel Aviv by 3-1. FC Midtjylland defeated Nottingham Forest right there in England 3-2. Sturm Graz were 2-1 better than Rangers. And of course, in the Conference League as well yesterday, a lot of matches were played. Crystal Palace defeated Dynamo Kyiv 2-0. Omonia lost at home to Mainz by a single goal. I mean, a long list of results we had also in the Conference League yesterday. But of course, just to inform you that also today across Europe, league matches will kick off today across Europe. In England at 8 p.m. tonight, Bournemouth will slug it out with Fulham Football Club. In France tonight, Paris FC will entertain Lorient, while in Germany and the Bundesliga, Hoffenheim will take on FC Cologne. In Italy, Italian Serie A, Verona will slug it out with Sassuolo, while in Spain, it is Osasuna taking on Getafe. In the Dutch League, Breda will take on Groningen, amongst many other matches to look forward to tonight. Those are games to look forward to tonight as far as the games is concerned over there in Europe. A couple more stories before we leave. FIFA has insisted that it cannot solve geographical problems amid calls to ban Israel. President of World Football Governing Body FIFA, that's Gianni Infantino, on Thursday said the organization is more interested in promoting peace and unity. Infantino led a meeting of FIFA's ruling council, which did not have Israel formally on the agenda before 2026 World Cup qualifying fixtures resume next week. The strongest push against Israeli teams by European soccer leaders during the 2-year conflict in Gaza was pushed after a peace proposal on Monday in the White House by U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Well, Israel is due to play a World Cup qualifier against Norway in Oslo on the 11th of October. And then Italy in Udine 3 days later. And I was talking politics and football right there. International politics at that. Alright, David De Gea is in the news. Former Manchester United goalkeeper David De Gea would consider a return to Old Trafford when the transfer window reopens in January. De Gea became one of the club's greatest goalkeepers during his time in the Premier League. He left the Red Devils following a disagreement over his contract and joined Italian club Fiorentina in August of 2024. Well, he ended his 12-year spell at Old Trafford from 2011 to 2023 and is now said to be happy at Fiorentina. But former Spain international Guiaca Mendieta said his Spanish compatriot would contemplate a second spell with United. During his time at United, De Gea won the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Europa League, and 2 Carabao Cup trophies. His successor, Andre Onana, has badly struggled since his arrival 2 years ago. Manchester United, despite signing laments in the summer transfer window, I've seen coach Ruben Amorim continue to place his trust on Bayinda and Tom Heaton within the squad. Well, that's the size of the show this beautiful morning. Big thanks to the entire production crew. Bigger thanks to you listening this beautiful morning. We're back tomorrow morning for the Saturday edition of the show. Till then, have a beautiful day and stay safe.
Kò ní fọ́ bọ̀ fà rẹ̀. Ẹ tí ó bá já, sílẹ̀ mọ́.